It's been a while. There we go. Okay. There we go. So now everybody should be able to see my screen, and I am recording. All right, thanks for the thumbs ups. I appreciate that. All right, so now you should be able to see the schedule. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the summer 2024 schedule. Awesome. Okay, so this is kind of the way the class works, right? It's kind of like being in lecture with me, but you're in the comfort of your home and I'm in the comfort of mine. Anyhow, and what it does is it enables our students to travel, during the summer, do whatever they have to do. And like I said, I don't know if you caught this before, but I do my best to record all the lectures. I don't make any promises because the class is synchronous, but I do try to record the lectures. Okay, try my best, but there's no promises about that. And then what I'll do later today is I'll post a link to my YouTube channel where I'll post all the videos and I'll make a playlist for that. So this is our schedule for this summer. Let me see here. Just bear with me here for a second. There we go. Just move this out of the way. This up at the top. Here we go. So can you guys see this if I write something on it like good morning? Just testing everything. Great. Okay. Thanks a lot, you guys. I appreciate it. So as far as the schedule goes, we're going to follow the schedule that's on here. So if you're asking when are we going to have class, we're going to have class on every day that it says in here. So starting with May 13th and so on and so forth. So those are the days that we're going to be meeting for class. The first thing that you'll notice about this is if you do the math for a regular 16-week course at UCCS, we would meet for 75 minutes 3 times a week. So if you take 1.25 hours times 3 times a week times 16 weeks, that gives you 60 hours. So you'd take 60 hours of organic chemistry. If you do the math for all the time that I have allotted for this summer, you can see the classes are 3.5 hours long, and then we meet 3 times a week. So if you take 3.5 hours times 3 times a week times 8 weeks, you end up with 84. Okay, so versus 84 hours. Okay, so if you're wondering, well, why would the summer class be that much longer? Well, first of all, it's not. Okay, so normally what I do is 2 things. Normally, the extra 24 hours gives us time to take breaks. So I will take a break. I'm not going to lecture for 3.5 hours straight. Okay, it will allow us to take breaks. And normally I do end class early. Okay, I will normally end class early. I can't give you the exact day or the exact time because some lectures go faster than others. Depends on the number of questions. It depends on a myriad of factors. But like I said, there's way more time than we need allotted for this class. So again, normally I'll end class early, and it also allows us to take breaks. Because let's face it, who could listen to me ramble on for 3 or even 2 hours straight about organic chemistry? And also for me, it's really tough to talk for that long a time. Okay, so I'll try to stick to the schedule very closely. So for people who like to ask, what are we doing? Again, everything is shown right here. Okay, this is what we're doing. The dates for the homework, the quizzes are in there. Quizzes, I usually keep them open a day, sometimes 2. And homework, the homework dates that you see on here, if you took a look at the due date for homework 1, so it says here that it's due on the 16th, but if you go on Canvas, and I'm not going to scroll over there right now, you'll see it's due on the 17th, okay? And the reason I do that is just for the kind of the oh no factor. If a student looks at this and says, uh-oh, I've got to get this done, it's due today. Well, that way, you get an extra day. So it's kind of a fear tactic, I guess, in a way that gives my students, kind of a warning. And then the homework is usually due the day after. But again, check Canvas for the actual due dates. Okay, so it's the student's responsibility to check on Canvas. I would check at least twice a day to see what's going on Canvas. So this is the schedule that we're going to be using. Okay. So I'll upload the new schedule. Just let me double check here. So if you go into Canvas, let me just double check. So if we go into Canvas, come on, then we go over here, okay, and we look at the syllabus and schedule. So this is chemistry 30. So I'm not in student view right now. If we go in here and look at the schedule, Yeah, I'll fix it. I'll fix it right now. Just give me 1 second to fix that. All right, there we go. So let's go back. No, not there. Let's go back here. All right, just give me 1 second and I'll fix it.
Hi, I'm so
Go
sorry. I
ahead.
have a quick question. Memorial Day is on Monday, the 27th. Will we have class that day?
If it says there's class that day, there's class that day.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
All right, let's see if that fixed it. So let me go in here. So now if we go back into Canvas, if we go back in here, I'll just reload it quickly. If you click on the schedule, it should be the right one. Yep, there you go. It's fixed it. All right, so here's the schedule. So I recommend printing a copy of this. I'm going to go back. Let's close this. We don't need that. All right, so I'll go back here. So yeah, I recommend printing at least a couple of copies of this and posting it somewhere or saving a PDF to your desktop or something so that you can refer to it often. Again, this is the schedule. This is what we're going to stick to. And there you go. So that's the first thing, is the schedule. Any other questions about the schedule? Okay. So today I will post an announcement about the census date and drop date and all that stuff. Due dates are normally at 11:59 p.m., but you'd want to check Canvas for that to be doubly sure. All right. So let's go back here. Let's take a quick peek at the syllabus. So yeah, as far as this class goes, historically, it is a face-to-face class. So if you take it in the spring or the fall at UCCS, it is a face-to-face class. However, in the summer, we do the high flex modality, which is what you're taking right now, where I do the lectures on Teams from 8 to 11:30. But again, I explained that normally I end class early and give us time for breaks and all that kind of stuff. Every once in a while, if something comes up, I just put this in here that I might have to pre-record a lecture, or I'll post a link to a former lecture or something if I miss class for, act of God or something like that. But what are the things that you need for this class? Well, there's a few things you're going to need for this class. You need a reliable internet connection for attending lectures, of course. A webcam and a microphone, you need that for taking your exams using Respondus Lockdown Browser. And we'll talk more about Respondus later on. If you've taken general chemistry at UCCS, though, you're probably familiar with Respondus. And if you're in the Colorado Springs area, of course, you could always go to the library on the UCCS campus. They all have the latest version of Respondus installed on them, and you could take your quizzes there, or you could take them at the, I'm not sure if the Science Center is open in the summer, so I'd have to double check on that. And then you should have a printer in case I ask you to do a handwritten assignment and then scan it and submit it. So I go over the rationale for that. Anyhow, so organic chemistry here, I cover what the concepts are that are covered in here. And it says here, and if you're taking this class, you must have completed general chemistry 1 and 2 with a grade of C or better. Now, how much time do you need to spend outside of class? I would say as much time as possible, okay? Organic chemistry is a huge time commitment, really it is. It says here 12 to 15 hours a week outside of class. I would say that's conservative. I'd say that's very conservative. I'd say in the summer, it's more like 20 hours a week is what you would need to have outside of lecture to work on problems, practice them. So that would work out to what, 5 or 4 hours a day outside of a lecture. And this is a place that students will make missteps sometimes, is that they'll say, well, I can learn it. I can cover the content in an hour a day or something like that. I suppose you probably could, but could you master it? I would say no. It could not be mastered that quickly. I would say that would be very difficult. As far as the quizzes go, quizzes are inherently cumulative. So what does that mean? It means you have to master the content from chapter 1 in order to move on to chapter 2. You have to master chapter 2 in order to take, quiz 3, et cetera, et cetera. So organic chemistry is definitely a cumulative course. Here's my contact information. The phone number is now defunct. They actually removed the phone from my office, so I'll scratch that out. But you can always reach me by email. I'm like everybody else. I check my email multiple times a day. I do my best to answer within 24 hours. If you want to speak to me over Microsoft Teams, we can try to find a time to work that out too. Use your campus email address when you're contacting me. Don't use a Gmail. If you send it from a personal email account, technically I'm not supposed to respond to that. Anyhow, as far as course outcomes go, I'll let you guys take the time to read over what all of those are, but this is basically a summary of some of the concepts and skills that you'll take on, that you'll learn while studying organic chemistry. And I'm going to mention this again when I turn the camera off, but I don't want to come off sounding too harsh or anything like that. But I'll just tell you right now, as far as mastering the content in organic chemistry, you have to practice. Number one, you cannot master you can't even learn the content without practicing it, number one. And number two, it means you have to put pencil to paper, okay? You can't, it's like riding a bicycle. You could go on YouTube and probably watch 1,000 videos of somebody riding a bicycle. Does it mean you know how to ride a bicycle? Absolutely not. Okay, you have to try it yourself. And so when I teach the class in person, sometimes I'll ask my students, okay, everybody get a pencil out and we're going to try to draw this mechanism, or we're going to try to draw this structure, or we're going to try to name this compound. And sometimes students won't be attempting it. And I would say that that's detrimental to their learning. Okay, so what I'm saying is, you want to practice, you want to try. And what I'm saying, when you want to, you have to try everything. You've got to put pencil to paper, try to name the compound, try to draw the curved arrows, and that kind of thing. Anyhow, as far as the textbook goes, so I don't know why I'm having a problem running the textbook on my iPad, but on my laptop, I can run it just fine. I'll show you in a second. But the textbook that we use is David Klein. It's the most popular organic chemistry textbook in all of North America, for sure. He's on the 4th edition right now. Now, as far as the textbook goes, you don't have to pay for the textbook because it's included when you're enrolled in the course. So if you go over to your Canvas shell, it's not going to work for me in student mode. So I'm going to have to leave student view. And even then, I'm struggling with like I said, with my iPad, it doesn't seem to work so well. But you click on Wiley Course Resources up at the top left, and then it will open up this page. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there's two things. Number one, you see the first star here where it says Wiley Plus e-textbook. That's what you're going to click on to access the textbook. Okay, so everybody can access the textbook through there. I'm not going to click on it because it's not going to open it up because I'm an instructor, and I have to go in through a different way. However, the second thing is that you have the integrated solutions manual here. This is not included with the course. It is $18 is the cost for this. So once you create an account with Wiley, you can purchase the solutions manual for $18. I would say borderline impossible to master the content without the solutions manual. Okay, you've got to have a copy of the solutions manual. It's not just the answers, it's guided solutions. And so it's very important that you buy the solutions manual. I would say it's very, very, very difficult to access that. Now, if I click on the e-textbook, I don't think it's going to open it up for me because, like I said, I'm an instructor. I have to go into a different way, but I can see the table of contents here. So you guys should be able to access this. And what we're going to cover in this class is chapters 1 through 11. Access code. So none of you can access the textbook at all?
No, it's asking for a registration code.
Asking for a registration code. Okay, well, let's not worry about it just yet. So what I'll do is I'll contact Wiley after class today and see why it's not working, but I'll be able to get it to work. And if I can't figure that out, I'll post a PDF of the first chapter or something so that everybody can access that. All right, so that covers the textbook. So again, I guess I'll have to contact them, figure out why that's not working. It's strange. But anyhow, all right. So let's see here. What if we click on this? Click here. Let's try that. It's probably not going to open that either. Yeah, like I said, I'm able to access it through my laptop, but not through my iPad. Anyhow, let's not worry about that. Yeah, let's go back to the syllabus. Okay. So, yeah, where was I? So the textbook, I'll get that straightened out today. And then you definitely want a copy of the solutions manual. As far as molecular models go, you don't need those, but they are kind of handy to have for some people. And then for the ACS Organic Chemistry Study Guide, again, it's not required. But if you click on this link, you can buy an ACS study guide for $30. So it's pretty cheap. And it's really handy to help you, master the content in organic chemistry. And for all of my students who are interested in taking a standardized exam in the future that might involve organic chemistry, which is usually a lot of people, it's a really good, it's very handy to have that. Anyhow, so Canvas, you can read that. Students always want to know, where do I get my grades? Okay, so hear ye, listen very, very carefully. Okay, so there are 13 quizzes in this class. I will drop your lowest score. I was sick. My car, I had a flat tire. I had to go to a wedding, whatever. Okay, so just hear ye. Excuses will not be accepted. You have to write the quiz. Okay, I get it that life happens. People get sick. Kids get sick. This kind of thing happens. People are traveling. I missed my flight and all that kind of stuff. But it's my responsibility to keep the course moving. Okay, so if you miss a quiz, you will get a 0 on that quiz, and that would be considered to be your dropped quiz. If you miss the second quiz, you get a 0 on that one, and that one would stay in the grade book. Okay. So sometimes, it's not you guys, of course, but sometimes students will think, I can dodge this bullet and that bullet. No, you have to write at least, 12 of the quizzes to not have a 0 in your grade book. Okay. So anyhow, the final exam is an ACS exam or something similar to it that I put together, and that's taken using Respondus as well. There's no extra credit. So, I know in high school you can cry at the end and say, I'll make a poster about owls or something, and they'll give you a B or something. Not in college, okay? This is what it is, okay? So the quizzes make up most of your grade. They make up 70%. The final exam is worth 20%, and your homework is 10% of your grade. Now, as far as the homework assignments go, if you say, I need to submit this late, this happened, there's going to be somebody who's going to say, I have to submit this late, this happened. Again, you signed up for the class knowing full well what the schedule was. The due dates are posted on Canvas. So if you submit something late, it's no problem. You can do that. But you'll get a grade reduction of 50%. Okay, so if you submit something late and you get 100%, your score will be 50%. All right, so there's no makeup quizzes that will be given or anything like that. Again, we all signed up for the class, so we know what the schedule is from today. So we move forward. The class moves very quickly, right? We only have 8 weeks to cover all the content. I go over the whole spiel that I just went over here. So you get 1 dropped quiz. Again, if you miss a quiz, that counts as your dropped quiz. As far as the grading goes, well, the grading is done online. So I try to open up the quiz as soon as everybody's completed it. I try my best to do this so that everybody can take a look at it. And if they missed a question, they can see where that was. As far as the online classroom goes, I don't really worry about that a whole lot. Students are usually so great. They're here to learn, so I don't really stress about that. Census date is posted here. You can see it's coming up fast and furious. It's on the 18th, so it's this Saturday. I'm going to double check that today and post an announcement about that. And then the final withdrawal date, I put here June 13th. Again, I'm going to double check that with the registrar's office today. So you can read all the different things here at the end about disability services, or if you're in the military. But that is the crux of the syllabus, short and sweet. Any questions about the syllabus? Okay, if there's no questions, I'll show you some things over in Canvas then, just to keep things moving. So can everybody see my Canvas page right now? Okay, cool. So this is what you guys see when you log in. And again, I'm going to contact Wiley as soon as lecture's done today and see if I can figure out the textbook problem. But anyhow, where was I? So we have announcements. So I would double check the announcements. I would check them at least every day. You can see that I posted a few of them. I posted one this morning, just a few minutes ago, about the lecture starting soon, and then a welcome one. And then there's one here that I had left up. But this is about functional groups, because we cover functional groups in chapter 2. And, you know, sometimes I have students that want to get ahead in things. And so you could watch this video that I made a few years ago that covers all the functional groups that we need to know for this class, and even a few extra ones. So again, I try to keep up with the announcements there. The next, you have Wiley course. Again, I'll try to fix that. Assignments, so you can see your first homework. I posted the first quiz. It's not available yet. So you can see the first quiz is open from May 17th to May 18th. So it's open for 48 hours. It closes at 1 minute before midnight. Chapter 2 homework is there. Chapter 3 homework is there. And then there's something at the bottom called the Introduction to Wiley Plus. And that is just it's just a drawing exercise. So if you've never used Wiley before, you can do it. It's not worth anything. It doesn't give you any points. But if you want to get some practice on how to use the software, it's really handy. So then we have the quizzes, grades, and I'm not sure what name coach is. I might remove that because I don't really need that. But anyhow, so there you go. So that's what you can find on Canvas. Then if we go back to home, okay, so you can see I have the syllabus and schedule posted. Again, I'll figure the textbook thing out. I have the respondus instructions, but what you're going to be interested in to start with will be chapter 1, okay? So here are the lecture notes. So they're posted in PowerPoint format. It's what I'm going to lecture from. You can download them. You can make them into slide format, whatever. You can save them as a PDF, do whatever you want, okay? And then once we get the textbook thing straightened out, we have the chapter 1 suggested practice problems. So these are the problems in Klein. Now, in the actual textbook itself, it's going to say question 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.22, 1.23, et cetera, but instead of me writing out 1 point something in front of each one of them, I just wrote out the second part here. So I eliminated the 1 dot for every single one of them. Now, if you're wondering, really that many questions? The answer is yes, that many questions. How many of those questions do you think you should do? The answer is, or do I think you should do? The answer is all of them. Okay, you should do all of the questions for the course. Okay, so or to master the content, so you have to do all of the suggested practice problems. Okay, and again, they're not for any grade. Okay, but this is how you learn the content, is by trying it yourself. So I have those laid out for you for every single chapter. The homework is in there. And then again, as the course moves on, I'll post more modules with slides and homework and all that kind of stuff. Okay. I just put a few up to kind of get us going. I guess the main thing is for me to figure out the textbook, but again, I'll contact the publisher as soon as class is over today and get that straightened out. And if I can't, like I said, I'll try to post a PDF of the first chapter. Where the heck was I? Let's go back to the schedule. So again, here's our schedule. So what are we going to do today? Today we're going to start chapter 1. I'll probably be able to finish most of chapter 1 today because it's just a review of general chemistry. It's all things that you would have seen before. Just bear with me for 1 minute here.